Hey, I've often heard it said, it's impossible to keep the Torah. We just can't do it. We could never keep the Torah. That's interesting because if you're not careful, what you are doing is you are basically, so let's just look at Deuteronomy 28:45. Deuteronomy 20:48, at the end of that, he says, if he's giving the list of curses here, and he says, quote, you would not obey. And so why, what kind of God would say, keep this, but I know you can't? That doesn't make any sense. That's almost like saying you get your IKEA package boxes in and you just unload them from the car and you bring them into your 3-year-old and say, hey man, I got to go mow the yard. I want you to put this shelf together while I mow the yard, okay? And I expect it to be done when I get back. And then you get done mowing mowing, and you're hot and sweaty and kind of cranky, and your 3-year-old has not put the shelf together from IKEA at all. And then you just go crazy mad and explode on the kid. That doesn't even make sense. You asked them to do something that was impossible for them, but yet many people and many Christians have said that against the people who try to follow Torah, that you're saying that God asks us to do something that's impossible. And that just doesn't make sense. That makes God to be some crazy madman where he's asking you to do things that are impossible. He didn't ask us to do anything that was impossible. For example, that last video, I listed out things like, don't steal, don't mess with blind people. There's this whole long list of things that are pretty easy to do. You have to be a terrible person to violate most of these. So it's not hard. And Yeshua himself said, my burden is easy, my yoke is light. And I think people get confused because they hear what he said to the Pharisees, who he told the Pharisees that they tied heavy loads upon people. But they think that is all of the law, but that wasn't the law. The law is easy. The first thing you do is you rest on Sabbath. You party 7 times a year. Tell me what part of that is bondage. You can't eat certain things. Okay, that's really that hard? Most of us, the doctor tells you not to eat certain things, and you don't say that's bondage. So why do we say if the God, the creator of the universe, tells us not to eat something, all of a sudden that's bondage? I don't know, just some things to think about as you journey on.